This video will demonstrate best practices for labeling and packaging library items. These items will be transported by courier to the Wisconsin Valley Library Service member libraries. If you have questions regarding courier, please email courier@wvls.org or call WVLS office at 715-261-7250. Let's get started. When you're scanning items, the screen will prompt for a transit slip. When the transit slip is printed, you place it in the item. Different items need to be secured differently. All of these items have been checked ahead of time for damage and to make sure that all discs are included in sets and anything that's included in a unit. These are the WSCAT items that we're returning, and we have the appropriate paperwork ready to secure for return. When you do get Circulating magazines back, you can send them to the owning library using a green bag, or if you get a stack, you can rubber band them together. You would not use the interlibrary loan envelopes for patron circulated magazines. These magazines are WVLS directors or staff routed magazines. These are not magazines for patron checkout. That would be routed through the courier. When routing magazines, you want to use an interlibrary loan envelope. Make sure you've marked your name off and mark off the previous recipient and clearly write the next library or person to receive this one. Okay, so this one's going to Carla at Stetsonville. So I wrote Carla, Stetsonville, and I can place the item. These two packaging practices would be placed into a blue bin along with other library items. All right, now we're going to prepare the items to put into the bins. Looking for items of the same size that can be rubber banded together, going to the same place. An example of that are these two paperbacks, both going to the same place, same size, not too big of a bundle, so that can be rubber banded. These two items are not the same size, going to the same place, but I will not rubber band them together. They are paperbacks, so they will get rubber banded. Paperbacks like to flop open, so if you can secure them before transport, save the life of the book. DVDs, we always rubber band our DVDs just in case they would pop open. WSCAT items, can't tape it, you need to rubber band it. And this item, it'll work fine. Should stay secure. Regular hardcover paperbacks, if you put the slip near the middle pages, you have the best chance of keeping it secure. Showing the location. This is an odd size book. I could trap it inside. I don't know if it would stay. I'm going to just rubber band it. Here. This board book has an odd spine that slants, so I probably would just rubber band this one to the front. You can use scrap paper and tape your transit slip to give you a little bigger piece to tape. You'll have to rubber band this both ways in order to secure it. So if you drop it, it should still, if you shake it, it should stay. Another item with these thin look and fine big books, that slip is, there's not many pages in there, and this one's well used, so I'm going to tape this one, or I'm going to secure this one to the front with rubber bands. Again, I'm going to use a bigger piece of paper. Just feel more comfortable that the rubber bands are going to hold that. The new guidelines request no tape on any items anymore. For WVLS Courier and for WSCAT. When you are sending items to and from the school, they should be in a green bag. This is requested because it does protect the patron's confidentiality. Okay, one more thing before we start packing the courier. Many school districts belong to WSCAT, and they fill out forms, pink slips as well. We received these two back for return, and they are addressed to go to WVLS, and then to Neilsville, and then the other one is to Withee. Well, we aren't going to send them to WVLS first, so we actually took those tags off and put the white tags on for each library to save one step of sorting. So if you deal with the schools, you may want to pay close attention to the slips you receive from them and where the items are being returned to. These are available on the WVLS website for printing for different delivery. This is the UW system slip, and this is a Minitech slip. This is, I believe, just mainly for books. I don't know if you can use it for DVDs or audiobooks. I don't know why not, as long as it's trapped inside. You know where the item is going. All right, now I'm going to look at my bin, and we always wipe out our bins beforehand. Now I can begin packing. I'm going to sort my AV items so that they can be put together. And I have some odd-sized things. Odd-sized things that aren't heavy, I like to put on the top when I'm done. So I look for similarly sized items. Pack. And spine to spine. So when they move, they don't fall into each other. Sometimes it's a bit of a puzzle. Sometimes you rearrange them a couple times before you're done. items to lay flat. These are not what I want. AV in. We put our AV in spine to spine as well, just to stay with the way we do it. This on top. That's fine. Okay, I have filled one bin, and remember to make sure your bin says Waltco sort, because when you get it, it says your library, or you'll get it back again. I can see that I won't have a full bin when I'm done, but that's okay. I can still send it. It's a bit like doing a puzzle. We like our items to all lay flat. So we save the odd ones in envelopes for the top. That's it. Ends up that this one's full too. I probably wouldn't put much on top of that either. So this bin is packed. There is a space here, so if it does shake, these may fall, but the rubber bands seem to hold the items. If you can try to rearrange them, but we have gotten bins like this with no problem, and if they do fall, they aren't going to, this one's a double one, so it's not going to cause any damage to itself or its neighbors. This would be an example of something that doesn't fit in a blue bin, but needs to be transported to a WVLS library. So it needs a label. You can use the pre-printed labels that we have, or it's also okay to write by hand and attach. I'm going to put my label by the fragile tag because that will alert the sorters that it is a fragile item. Now it's ready. This is the manifest sheets that keep a record of what is shipped through Courier. How many blue bins and the date. I have 2 blue bins. And I have one other, that big black case, so I'll put a 1 under the other column. Then I total that. There will be 3 things being transported from our library to the Waltco Sorting Center. The driver will date and initial when he picks them up. The Courier sheets, you can either pre-print these with your library. You need to either write or have that in there, because when it is sent to the WVLS office, there is no other way for them to tell what library this sheet came from. At the end of the month, you total all the pieces that were sent from your library, record the number in the box. You either fax it to 715-261-7259, or you can scan it to email at courier@wvls.org. WVLS does supply the blue bins, sorting labels, interoffice envelopes, bubble wrap, green bags, and while supplies last, rubber bands. So you can request those items by emailing courier@wvls.org.